was in the basement. So I got a basement to do, and then the attic. I can only imagine there's probably like two, two, the 2 to 3 in the attic, and probably like at least a whole bunch in the basement. But what it is messing with if anyone walks backwards, it is, it's okay, sorry about that. I didn't realize if I went backwards, I was gonna get myself stuck. But I guess I should have known that if I don't mess with it so much. Because I walked, like I turned around and I was standing still, but my character was shaking. I was like, oh, that's really weird. And then I went backwards, and well, that didn't go so well. 3 minutes in, I'm just messing around with shaking. I kind of want to mess with this some more, just to see like if I can make myself shake without even moving. Because it happened so fast, I feel like she was shaking like crazy when I did that. Oh. I mean, I got myself stuck again. God damn it. So I don't even need to like turn around to get myself stuck. I think the game knew what I was trying to do, and now just trying to get me stuck. God damn it. Oh, that was quick. There's like nothing to like pick up in front of me. Unstuck. Again, I wish there was a jump button. Jump. Y is map, B is crouch, A is to pick up things and drop things, X doesn't do anything. I'm assuming that doesn't help. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. I should probably time it is and stuff. It is That means our start at 10:29 at night. Second day of September. Of course, listening to y'all random y'all cast videos as I've listened to earlier. Again, the same ones. It seemed like 3 or 4 I listened to. They just looped them back to back to back with like the Lewis's ones and the Lewis Uncensored and then Simon's videos and like other things I can't remember what they are. Mostly about Lewis, and then a little bit of Simon in his Twitch stuff. I don't think this can open up. I don't think it has ice. I think it's backwards. I think it's supposed to be a bookshelf, but the bookshelf is backwards. So I don't think I can do anything with that. So let's go this way. Pretty simple. Nope. Nothing for this stuff. Nothing for Sam's. Not even the middle. The scientist middle. Okay. Nothing there. Let's go this way. Oh wait, it might be vibrating. It might be down at the same time as the basement. No. It's at 34. It's the basement.
One of the larger assets that we needed for the basement to really give it character and personality was a furnace. And when we were initially thinking of the furnace, Steve had mentioned to me the furnace from Home Alone, which if you grew up in the 90s like I did, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I did a lot of research and looked up stuff that could kind of evoke a similar feeling, and we finally settled upon octopus furnaces, which are like, they're thematically and time-wise very appropriate. They're these giant hulking monstrosities with all these arms covered in asbestos. Really perfect, so we ended up modeling one of those and put it in the corner, and I think it turned out okay.
Didn't feel like wasting more time on playing this. Okay, this is awesome. There's nothing even for this. There's nothing for this either. I'm surprised about that. Maybe they talk about it somewhere else, maybe. Okay, let's go over here to this note.
Oh man, this thing.
So 2 things. 1, Mom's Canadian.
Yay!
2, Mom didn't start out Canadian. The reason that Mom is Canadian is because Kate Craig and Emily Carroll are Canadian, and early on in the development of the game, Emily did Mom's handwriting.
This is before she did any of the UI text or anything.
Right, and it was before we decided that all the moms were going to actually be written by moms and all that kind of stuff.
Integrity in moms.
And so we had the answering machine note in the foyer, and the line. What's the actual line that's there? It's like
Neighborhood.
Right. Yeah. So. The line on the thing is like, Daniel from the old neighborhood called, call him back. And we gave the text to Emily, and she wrote it out longhand and gave it back to us. And then I looked at it, I realized that she had inserted a U into the word neighborhood.
Because it's what you do.
Because of being Canadian. And so, to fix that bug, instead of removing the U, I said, bug fixed, Mom is now Canadian.
Okay. She's Canadian now because they put a U in neighbor. What the fuck? Really? They use U's in Canadian neighbor? I'm so confused. Canadian is so weird. I wish I don't know if they talk about these bills. I'm not sure the bills are used for anything. Probably if you read like a certain note, it probably talks about bills and you can like ring them in certain orders.
You know, there was kind of this intellectual, cross-cultural, like pen pal thing that happened before the internet. You know, we used to write letters back and forth to each other about our ideas and about how we wanted to change things. And so a bunch of these women that I mentioned came up with this idea of Riot Girl, of being a punk rocker that was also an in-your-face feminist.
The thing I know most about penthouse people are like people who like did it for like someone from across the world or something, and they would like talk to each other with like. And there's a point where at one point, this must have been like late 90s or something or early 2000s, when people was actually getting penthouse buddies around the world for them to send each other snacks and stuff, like Japanese snacks. Like American kid would get like a Japanese guy as his penthouse buddy, and then when they get to know each other a lot, they was according to the few people that they said in the late 90s when they saw how awesome Japanese candy and sodas was and stuff like that and snacks. Where the American guy, the American family would like get a bunch of snacks for the Japanese guy, and then the Japanese guy would get a bunch of snacks, and they send it to the American one, and the American guy sends it to the Japanese guy. I saw that happen quite a bit. That was kind of cool, but I never like understood how to do it, so I can do it. So it was way later in the end of my life when I was able to actually try to get a penthouse or to get Japanese stuff. So nothing in here, huh? I'm trying to surprise this light doesn't work. Since all lights are supposed to be on, so it's kind of funny that it's not on still. That's kind of funny. And I really wish there was something here to talk about. What is this room for? Why is here? Why is there like wood in here? Why is there a piece of wood and a toy and stuff? Nothing like that. Is this open? Okay, it is open, but there's nothing. What was that? I guess it might have been a shadow or something. It was like a weird shadow I saw or something. So nothing in the safe. I'm surprised about that. I don't really think the safe evading. A piece of paper on top of it.
So there's this little scrap of paper that's hidden under this bedside table, and you start to read it, and then Katie makes you stop reading it. And it was this thing where it's an exception to the interactive expectations that you have. Like, it's one place, I guess the one place where we really impinge on your ability as a player to do what you want. And Katie intervenes basically, and it was something that I thought was an interesting little one-off way of emphasizing the difference between the player and the character that they're playing as. And to you as a player, the note's just a note, but a reminder that, like, Sam is Katie's sister, and Katie wouldn't want to read this thing, and she's not going to keep doing it, even if you want her to.
Exactly. Well, looking at it, I was looking at it before. Again, sometimes I was disappointed in what I'm talking about is this fucking thing. Again, I remember it making noise when you do it, but it didn't make noise. I'm very confused about that. I thought this would be like a nice touch. Like, oh yeah, we did this thing, and it'd be kind of cool. It's something to interact with, but it's on a slant, so it's a bit crooked, so it opens up. It's not that. There's fucking nothing about this thing. I think it was super cool. But nope, nothing about it. Again, nothing about the bills. Which choices. Again, the accommodation probably a good about bill. And then you come here. It wasn't like it could work like that. And I never found another. I never found a missing bill. I never found a missing bill. Library. Now, safe. Nothing about the back room, the notes, or the random old toy and stuff like that. It's just really weird. I thought something for sure might be in here, but nothing. Oh, look at that, got nice spider webs. I didn't notice that until now. This will just touch. Okay, so. I didn't think this was a penthouse thing. I thought it was just like I don't know, I didn't think that was a penthouse. I thought it was like a note. Okay, so let's go over here now. This part is a basement. Oh, there is two. Let's do this. See what this is.
Putback is the feature that I'm happiest with in the game, and it actually came about as sort of a little bit of an accident. Playtesters had told us they didn't want to feel like some kind of horrible person rummaging around this house and tossing everything on the floor, but there wasn't really any other option initially. That's all you could do was sort of try and lob things back into the place. So, you know, I had done some code before for placing turrets and things in other games where it, will arbitrarily orient an object to be perpendicular to surface and all that sort of stuff. I told Steve that, we'd have a lot of edge cases with that and it would take some time to implement, and temporarily I would just give him the ability to put objects that these things would kind of stick to in the game, and we tried that, and it worked so well that we decided to keep that, and that's where Putback came from.
I wish they kind of say what this is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be an urn? Is it supposed to be I thought it was supposed to be a hat? I think this is what you put hats in to keep them somewhat clean and stuff. Or maybe a wig and thing, but nothing like that. Just some kind of pictures, I guess. Or maybe pictures, or maybe a journal, maybe. Hat holder or urn or something. There's no nice stuff down.
There's a little bit of concern on my part before any of this got started that you never know how much liberty you're going to be given and how much over direction you're going to get, because somebody hears it like a specific way, and if you deviate from that at all, you're just going to keep doing the line over and over and over again, like 50 times until it's right. So I really wasn't sure what to expect, but even on the first day getting in there and being able to go through a few of the lines and just give them what came to mind, and seeing how closely I think everyone was on the page about it. So the direction was always really positive, and it was always kind of coming from either additional information that changed the context of what I was reading, or a certain change in the phrasing or the way something is being, a pause here, or maybe move it to here, or instead of emphasizing this word, try this one instead. So you end up with a lot of different takes that really give it a very different feeling, depending on which one you go for.
I guess I guess Daniel had a lot of problems and stuff, I guess. I'm still kind of confused about myself, but
They tell you to stick with the group on field trips, Katie. There's a reason for that. Lonnie and I snuck off on the side paths at Multnomah Falls and got a little lost. Okay, a lot lost. Like, for hours. Right before the bus left, we found a trail and came running down the path, soaked and covered in mud, shouting for the bus not to leave. The school called home. Mom and Dad said, "You didn't get into trouble like this before you met that Lonnie girl." But I don't think they know about us. The kids at school, though, I'm really afraid that's a whole other story. Stick with the group, Katie. Stick with the group.
I don't understand. Okay, so it's Sam talking, yes, I get that. So I guess you're just saying at the beginning that Katie told maybe her saying no, she didn't do that and stuff. Or something like that. But it feels like the bus in school would be in a lot of trouble if they left them behind. Right? The kids should be encouraged. The school should be a picture of them because they just left two students behind. So it's not like anything. The school should be way bigger trouble if they left almost two students behind. He should be in there searching for everybody they left behind. What the fuck? Okay, I wasn't sure if I did this stuff already. But this is number one. This one. I'm sure there's nothing more path. Yeah, this is this room. Setting the dimensions up there. So let's do this one.
The music for Gone Home was mainly composed over two separate periods, roughly a year apart. A version of Part 1 of the game had to be ready by October 2012 for submission to the 2013 Independent Games Festival, so I did all the Part 1 audio logs primarily that September. The following summer I did another round of logs for the second half of the game, as well as some Part 1 revisions in the ambient exploration tracks. One really nice side effect of the long gap between composition sessions, as well as the structure of writing music that is very literally accompanying a story, was that I ended up hitting on pretty different ideas and approaches over time as I got further along in Sam's story. The original sketches I did had mainly electric piano sounds, which are warmer and more naturalistic than synthesizers and other electronics instruments. As Sam and Lonnie's story developed more, though, I started to bring in acoustic guitar as well. It seemed like an appropriate way for the music to build up some more familiar, natural elements, somewhat echoing Sam coming into her own. Eventually, it became a really tonal element of the score. After that emerged, I started to more carefully control the instrumentation for the various main categories of log subject matter, including Sam's self-reflections, Sam and Lonnie, Sam and her parents, and even Sam and Daniel. Some of those have their own melodies and themes as well. That wasn't really a grand plan from the start, and I don't expect everyone to really notice it, but it became one of my favorite things about working on this score.
So you know, with a small game, they went through a lot of stuff for it, so it's kind of crazy. Through how much work they went through and stuff. Yeah, let's see about her, the sister, and would go for a chance of making her own.
Fanzines, I mean, that's one of the things that we started doing right away, was doing these Riot Girl fanzines, and everyone would contribute and write, an article for it, and then we'd compile it and make these Riot Girl fanzines, and we would mail them out to people. I mean, all this is so funny to talk about it before the internet, but we used the mail, and people would write. We had a P.O. box, and we started getting letters because people would read in someone else's fanzine. There's this Riot Girl thing that started happening, right? And it just, it was the most incredible thing. It just snowballed. Girls wanted to be a part of it. immediately across the country, right? So from the time we started Heavens to Betsy in 1991, I think it was only a year later, right? So 1 year of Riot Girl meetings and these letters happening and these fanzines happening. Well, a year later, we left on the Riot Girl tour, the Heavens to Betsy Bratmobile Riot Girl tour, from Olympia to DC. Well, for some reason, it took us like almost 5 weeks to get there on this tour. And we ended up staying in DC another something like 5 weeks before the Riot Girl convention that happened. So all of this, all of these fanzines, all these girls across the country started getting interested in Riot Girl, and the press just went bananas. I mean, the press attention was off the hook. New York Times, USA Today, all these journalists wanted information and wanted to interview all of us. And it was crazy. So by the time we got to the Riot Girl convention, suddenly we were truly part of a movement.
So what happened to them after the 90s? They were like, I still never heard of the... I guess there was not actually a... what's a comic book? This is the part of the Riot Girl movement. So weird, because the way it looks like it was like... Her own kind of like book, like her dad was writing, so I thought the sister was doing the same thing, like that was really interesting too. I thought that's what was going on, but okay, yeah, so it's not exactly what I thought it was. Yes, I said these two things. Oh, I think we did this one. Let's see. Yeah, let's see that familiar. We can just put it in the tape player to make sure if I have to test if this sounds familiar to me. Okay, yeah. I think it's the one I really like. A lot of those are really low scoring. So yeah, I don't remember like the late 90s. That was 20 years ago, I guess. I guess it was 21 years ago, would have been 20 years ago would have been 2000 or something. It's not, oh, the hell is this? I don't remember looking at this. I don't remember seeing this. This is house with all of the... Something else I never noticed was this. I don't think I ever saw that. That's really weird. I'm like seeing things I don't remember seeing. So say that I do that. Yes, I do. That's the one. That's what I want to do. Oh, I thought I saw some books. Because we saw there was a small one, so maybe they could put a small one in one of these drawers. So I gotta make sure keep checking everything. Okay, let's go. I might say Florida, I'm not sure.
So earlier in an earlier version of the story in Gone Home, Sam and Lonnie got caught together, and Lonnie's dad was like an asshole about it and threatened to send Lonnie to live with her mom in Florida. And we cut that. It was too melodramatic and it wasn't really interesting. It was an external force that was acting on them, which I wasn't super excited about in practice and so on and so forth. But it caused there to be this concept of Lonnie's mom living in Florida, which
Florida is, of course, the worst place that you can live.
Well, let's not
Fucking bitch.
assume. But that said, it's like it's the other side of the country, and it's totally so foreign from Oregon and everything. Also, it's where I grew up.
Yeah, that was. Why I
So
was kidding you.
so yes, the reason I think that Lonnie's mom lives in Florida is that I grew up in Florida, and I moved from Florida to Oregon when I was like 19, and I've been back to visit, but you know. If someone were to say to me, "Hey Steve, do you want to go back and live in Florida?" I would take a sheet of notebook paper and I would write "no" on it, as big as you can get, and
With
hand it back to
gravestones.
you. There would be knives, there would be
Yeah.
gravestones, there would be
Dead
lightning,
face. Yeah.
big X's in the
Yeah.
eyes, vampire teeth for some reason.
I was largely unfamiliar with Florida, and my family started going there every once in a while, or when I was like in high school for Christmas, because my mom hates being cold. And
Pick the wrong goddamn
But-
place to live,
I
Mrs.
know.
Zamanja.
Yeah, well, you know. But anyway, the only thing that I remember basically is that everybody had lawn flamingos, and we went around Christmas, so I remember hearing on the radio multiple times dogs barking Christmas carols. That's Florida.
Florida sounds cooler than I remember it being.
In my head, that's Florida, right there.
Okay, I immediately remember why I kind of gave up on their games. No, it's why. She's talking to Florida.
All of the sliding doors that you see in the game are actually, from a code perspective, drawers. When I made a thing that could slide along a track like that, for the purpose of making drawers, Steve took it and, as designers are wont to do, used it for his own purposes and came up with sliding doors in our game.
Now I remember why I was happy I got this game. So nothing about the Mexican. I guess it does make the same noise as drawers do. Okay, let's go inside this one now. Dining? Is it called Dining House? Yeah, I think it was. Kitchen. No, not a kitchen. Dining room?
Writing Sam was a unique challenge, just in the sense of, on the one hand, it was very much from my personal experience because it's about being a teenager and my memories from that time, you know, as an individual, but also who Sam was and what her experience was, came about as a result of kind of problem solving that we were doing, that Carla and I were doing, just figuring out what the story and what the conflict in the story was going to be. So, you know, by the time we figured out this was all going to take place in one house, and the conflict was going to be between the members of this family, and it had to be kind of irreconcilable differences that would cause serious drama between the members of this family, you know, we started thinking, what form could that take? You know, could it be that the teenager of the family falls in love with somebody that they're not supposed to and the parents don't agree? And what is the contemporary version of that? And so, you know, we at some point decided that we were going to write Sam as a gay character who had fallen in love with another girl, and what conflict would that cause within the family, right?
And we were excited about that opportunity just because of the paucity of that kind of narrative in games. And I remember when we came up with that concept, just being like, oh man, this is gonna be good. We actually get to do this, which is really cool. But anyway, we actually we had to do a lot of work to make it plausible.
Right. Well, because the other side of it is that I'm the writer on the game, and on the one hand, a lot of teenage experience is universal, but I also at some point just had that very clear realization of, okay, I have just signed up for writing a gay teenage girl. Two out of the three aspects of that character are not something that I've actually lived through, and so it was impressed upon me, especially like when I was working at Irrational, how important research was to getting your fiction right, whether it's very practical terms like how something works mechanically, to what the characterization of the individuals in your story might be. And so my process was reading a lot of blogs about people's actual experiences growing up being gay and being female, and reading fiction and nonfiction about people's experience, and doing original interviews with people that I knew in my life, and asking them about what they remember about growing up with these experiences, and being able to actually, ask follow-up questions. And I'm really grateful to all the people who have shared their experiences through writing, and who were willing to share their experiences with me, personally, talking to me into a microphone so that I could refer to it later, which is just a huge leap for someone to take, to talk about their own, coming of age and all of those very personal experiences. But, I couldn't have gone into writing this character with just saying, well, I'll just assume that I'll do an okay job and write it however it seems like I should, and instead saying, you have to take this seriously, and you have to actually reach out to people who have lived it, so that when you're writing this character, it represents the experience of people like her in a way that is plausible and respectful and
authentic.
Yeah, that represents them in a way that doesn't cheapen the experience that they've had by relying on cliches or just kind of your expectations as an outsider.
But then it's kind of a cheap cliche of, oh, this has a lesbian character and you're gonna have it where the parents are bad, like she's the little girl. That's kind of cliche. It's never like, oh, we're so happy that you're a lesbian and being a girl. It's never like that. It's the opposite. And the parents are like, it sucks. Furthermore, it's stuff like that to say that you don't stop this without you ship it out to your grandma who's also away from your girlfriend and stuff. Well, I think most of it's all cliches type of thing. Stop. You can use your car, but you don't use your car to go to school and to go to work and immediately home. That's a cliche and stuff. Hey, we're going to go to a parents' conference type place to get along with each other before we go to pizza. That's a cliche. Happens a bunch of times. So they could have just done it by itself, but they didn't. They do all that shit stuff to people that they just done on their own. Do all the cliches that we didn't use. Now we're going to take your car away if you're in trouble or something like that. Okay, so this is open for some reason. Okay. Do I look like this? Yeah, I look like that. Okay, and then here. This one. It looks like there's something in here, but I can't really see what it is. It's really dark. Could be dust. Okay, so I think this is the only one in here. There's stuff I don't want to disagree with. Oh, floor Genesis. Joking. The hell was that joking, buddy? Oh yeah, I looked at this and it was
it's really about the ideals that we were trying to get across in our music. I think that the move to equality for women and for everyone in the U.S. is something that we all want to be a part of, right? And we used Riot Grrrl and we used music as the tool for that, and but it's really, to me, it's about equality for everyone. That I think is the key, and that's why young people really feel passionate, and they listen to the music and they hear that passion, and that's what they connect with.
Like, you talk about that stuff, and you immediately call them a tool.
So I'm Sarah Argadale. This is my salad dressing, named for my experience with being in Russia and that being what everyone knows me for. I studied Russian in college, and I lived there for about a year teaching English when I finished school, and it was a cool thing that happened in my life. So I am a reader of the Idle Thumbs podcast, and I guess that's how I met everyone at the Fulbright Company and kind of inserted myself into their lives. The Gone Home team, the Fulbright team, was nice enough to put a little token in the game for me, and it's pretty cool.
Let's do that one now. Yeah, let's do the kitchen one.
For a long time, the kitchen was not going to be mid-renovation the way that it is. And it's one of those things that I think that necessity, a production constraint, actually made this part of the house better than it would have been if we could have just done whatever we wanted. Because for a long time we were like, okay, it's just going to be a kitchen, and so we're going to need a bunch of food, which we ended up making, and we're going to need a bunch of appliances, and we're going to need a bunch of utensils and a block with kitchen knives in, and all the kind of stuff that would be in a kitchen. And at some point we just realized we didn't have the bandwidth to, like, of all the rooms in a house, the kitchen, I think, has the most just one-off unique thingies in it, because there's all these kitchen appliances and stuff that appear nowhere else in a house. And so at some point we just realized it wasn't going to make sense for us to try to portray that in a literal way. And so I just had the idea, what if I just tore the place apart, and the cabinets were sitting on the ground and the counters were laid up against the wall, and it's an old house, and maybe before the family moved in, the kitchen hadn't been updated since the 50s, and so they decided to redo the kitchen, and they're in the middle of that when you get here. I think that that's hopefully more visually interesting than playing it straight would have been, and B, it allowed us to make this feel like a believable space in a way that we just wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
Well, I think to me it makes the game different. Oh, I didn't know this. Oh, that's the same. No, I thought there was some cute features. I thought there was a side feature. I was thinking this thing so weird. Side kitchen. Because I would imagine everything to be something else main story in the 90s. It's something my house. We had that for it wasn't too recent. I was breaking down quoting but imagine this wasn't known. It wasn't real. 2000. Because again, like this was interesting, yes, but I think they could have made it less time and they put all the things to make it all work. Because they don't need to put more open and do some bathrooms or floors. I know that. I guess these are those are like floors, maybe, like right now. But to me, there's they could have done less work. Nice of the way you set it up because saying that you really
When you put out any sort of content about your game online, whether it's screenshots or whether it's gameplay or anything along those lines, you're sort of at the mercy of the internet, and you sort of want to see what people are going to respond to, whether it's positive or negative. Hopefully it's positive. But we put out the screenshot a while back of the TV room, among other screenshots, and there's lots of wonderful comments, and I was really happy about that. But one of the comments that I saw a couple of times was people talking about how greasy this pizza box was. Something I hadn't noticed, so I went back and I checked it. It's a very greasy pizza box. Maybe Sam's into deep dish pizza, who knows? But I'm glad we didn't change it. I'm glad we kept it just as gross as it always was. Like it.
I guess some people saw this earlier. We wasn't deep dish. Seemed like deep dish should be pretty expensive for back then. So we left. So I keep thinking of jellies. Like, it's a pretty bad idea to put jelly out. Thanks to the soda can. Another pinch. Nothing in here. So this one is to listen to. So here now. At least one. So we have something in here. I don't remember being there, but I guess as soon as I read it, like, oh wait, no, that is, I need this, I need to read it. And stuff, and she left, since, they're in the woods, you actually need to walk pretty far away to stop to pick up
Definitely the second half was where a lot more of the emotional weight in the character came out, and that was a lot to handle, but a lot of fun to do too, because I've really not gotten to do a character that actually was so, I guess, emotionally real and so human. You know, it's sort of, you're not doing some commercial selling you thing, or not doing some sort of sci-fi fantasy world sort of story. It was very realistic and very relatable, and you sort of realize that the character's someone that you could know or that you could have been, you know, when you were younger, which I really liked. It was very exciting. The whole experience has been really good.
And then the next game we're gonna make is another bloody another bloody game. It's like we didn't enjoy it and stuff. Again, it's so connected to like what the hell
I asked Lonnie what she had to do to get ready to ship out for basic training. She said, not a lot really. You're not allowed to bring anything with you. You have no possessions, no contact with the outside world while you're in basic. You just train hard every day, and then you deploy from there. So, they'll just send her away. To who knows where. The other side of the country, the other side of the world. My mind, can't process it. That she's really going to be gone. Just gone.
boy, she's gonna be back in like 6 weeks, dude. Girl. I'm sorry, I had some news, but she was on for like 6 weeks. Look like now. And now she's courting monsters. I mean, I don't know if that's a real thing for training, if you're courting monsters or what it's called, and you don't go.
So that was probably the hardest one we had to record. It was part of the second batch of recording we did, and so I had the script a few days before we did the recording to kind of read through it all and get a feel for where the story was going. And then we'd met for lunch to go over everything and see if I had any questions before we went into the studio. And I just right away admitted, yep, some part of this script here, I'll be honest, one of these totally had me crying, straight up, totally couldn't help it. Figuring, yeah, I had my cry out, it was good. I'll be fine. Get to the recording, it'll be great. Get it out of your system. And as soon as I read the first word, I was like, no, oh God, I'm gonna start crying again. It's gonna be great. I'm like, hey, I'm a professional voice actress in the studio. I'm gonna totally bawl all over your lines, and it's gonna sound ridiculous and terrible. And we're gonna have to do the take again, and it's gonna sound even worse because now I'm crying. So it actually ended up being one take. Really it's cathartic in a way for me, I think. Because it's really, how do I put it? It's really me talking to, specific people. I knew it was going to happen again. I knew it. I knew it. It's the stupid writing being so on point. Which is definite praise for the character build-up at this point, because I just become so connected with her, and making those parallels all the way along. And then you get to this point where it's like, I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly what you're going through. It was completely authentic. I've enjoyed people commenting on the connection they've had to the emotion that's in the character. And this is always the diary I think of, because it's the one that it most got me.
I really don't know what she's talking about. It must be not this, because I don't know, but it must be that they're next to it. Let's actually let me read. Let's play again. What is this? Oh, it must be the one.
Lonnie had her going away show with her band tonight. She's so incredible on stage. When she was singing, I could practically forget everything. That we only had 48 hours left. That I don't know what comes next. That I can't live with it.
6 weeks and she comes back.
I'd already played through the first full half of Gone Home before I started composing any music, which was really important to understand how the game felt and played and looked. But I didn't get a build of the complete game until I'd already been delivered the Part 2 audio logs, and then ended up not playing any of the second half of the game until it was fully complete and I'd written all the music. This wasn't originally my intention, but it meant I ended up fully immersed in Sam's story, essentially to the exclusion of all the other subplots of the game, which were not accompanied by specific music. I don't know if that was objectively the right call or not as the composer, but it definitely made me feel very connected to that character. I probably heard Sarah delivering Sam's story dozens or maybe hundreds of times over. It also meant I didn't actually know the literal implications of the ending of Sam's story, so I was imagining all kinds of potential endings that ended up being a lot darker than what you see when you finally do reach the attic. So as a player, when I did complete the game, I was pretty relieved.
Okay, why is this in here? Little random fucking one to put in here. Okay, sure. This one doesn't have a medicine cabinet. Okay. And there's a bathroom. There's one in here. There's one in here.
Something that I thought would be engaging about Gone Home, expected play really far and find something that's in someone's pocket or whatever, and finding a note in someone's pocket that had gone through the dryer, I think, image. And they're always going to do this, and we ended up making it this specific note from Lonnie to Sam, which it wasn't this for a long time. The one that's in the garbage can was here for a long time, and this one didn't exist, and there was no note in the garbage can in the garage. But yeah, this is I think the last note that went into the game.
It was really late.
And the last new content, that went into the game, because we did our final pre-release playtest, and there were people that were kind of like, decision came out of nowhere at the end. And I was like, why,
And it still did.
Why is that? And I think it's because Lonnie had never gotten to say her piece, and never to have that moment of saying, "I wish things were different, and I want to be with you, and I don't want to have to go away." But we made the assumption that that's how it. To give you some context for her, when she actually had to confront it, saying like, "You know what? I can't live with it being that way." And so this was her chance to speak just from her own perspective about why she felt like she had no choice in the matter, and then what she was deciding against when she changed her mind when she finally had to like.
Yeah, sure, she was gonna do it for years, and now she messed up. Oh, I wanna do it. It's fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. She's gonna wait just a few.
We didn't really give Kate very specific direction for this. She gave us some
Ref pictures.
some reference for us to approve and everything, but when we put it into the game, again, not a request from us at all. Looking at the struts and the shape of the windows and how it's this sort of deco metal structure with water outside of it, I was just like, welcome to Rapture.
Oh, I know, it's so true.
It almost feels
Really is
like
true.
an intentional reference, if only it were intentional.
I guess I can see what he's saying by that. Yeah. I can go actually able to like go to the wall and see what's outside. Cool. But it'd be something I probably can do. There's one here. Ugly mug. John's ugly mug. Look. No, there's nothing here. Unless poking notes. Okay. I think I'm talking about like, when I miss something sit and I miss it or something, but no, we're talking about Rapture. Something like kind of worked on this stuff.
So you want to talk about this fucking jazz mug?
Nobody wants to talk about the jazz mug.
Well,
It's
except
the
for
worst.
Carla.
I hate it. It's the worst.
that was such a common theme
Yeah.
when we were like approving assets or making
Yeah.
stuff visually for Gone Home. Is just like, oh my god, that's hideous. I fucking hate it. We're putting it in the game.
Yeah,
because
there's
like
so
just
much
like
of that.
awful '90s furniture and like the
We see it in a secondhand store or like
or you
just
see
on
it in the
internet.
Sears catalog
like,
we
yeah,
bought,
also
and it's just
true.
like there's
We
so
just
many
feel like,
fucking
ugh,
ruffles on it. I want
ugh.
to puke. Like the wicker furniture in
Yeah.
Mom and Dad's room.
Right.
It's like that's fucking hideous.
We need it.
Yeah. I was gonna throw it in the garbage, but I guess it's no garbage. Fuck. It was that fun. Oh well. Okay, so let's go to the let's do the measure sound. Okay, sometimes I want to. Sometimes check really quick. I think we'll check them both. Make sure. Okay, just gotta make sure I look it up and stuff. I'm not not sure why this is a thing. Maybe like so broken. It's crazy I'm talking about the medals, the Mexican mask and stuff like that. I think there's just one.
The fact that there are speedruns for our game makes me really happy, and the fact that, you know, the any percent speedrun, aka you don't have to pick up anything, just get to the end as fast as possible, has basically been optimized to, I think, 47 or 48 seconds. Even just watching that speedrun is really fun because you see the player optimize, like, for instance, the fastest. They don't turn on any lights because it would take a fraction of a second to turn towards the light switch and turn it on and then turn back to they wanted to. And, you know, they just kind of like strafe past things and don't even change direction to move through the house. And then, yeah, the 100% Diaries speedrun is even more interesting because players use that secret knowledge to play the game totally out of order based on a strategy for, okay, what's the most efficient way to go to these 24 points in the game?
Like spatially, so it's like this visit, it's the salesman, you know, problem or something, you know, where it has to go to all these different points, you know, and what's the best way to do it. It's cool.
Yeah, and so seeing someone think about the house in a totally different way and a strategic way that is about their created challenge, that says, oh, okay, if I go into the basement first, then back out and into the east wing, then don't even go into the west wing until after, you know, and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool to see that stuff evolve, and I'm really glad that we didn't make it so, for instance, you had to read the note about the secret door before you could even click on the secret door, because it would have shut down so many of those opportunities for people to play in interesting ways and express their mastery over the space that they've gained by playing the game.
Challenges.
For some reason, there's a chest made of it. Chest made of that. Nope, there's a good challenge. But yeah, again, something I thought we were talking about this at all, but I don't think they mentioned it once. About the uncle. Or about the sacred house that they mentioned at the beginning of the game. But I imagine when you click on this door the first time, when I just did it, I multiple times to open up, so I imagine it's about to click it, and then close, and then go back away, and you click it again, then it'll open up and stuff. So you can close and go straight and stuff. Now, did I do? I don't think I did upstairs yet. Maybe there's more left to do than I thought. I think I did upstairs. No. Oh, you think I did? So nothing about the ball. I guess I don't know, maybe the game is broken. I don't know. I really don't remember the ball yet. I thought it was in the basement somewhere. It's safe for some reason. They maybe those two vehicles and made it so I guess I don't really know what the ball looks like. I think it looked like blue ball. You'd use an axe and let the ball blue or something. Just want to make sure because earlier I would actually open everything up just make sure there's nothing in these, so there's no up here, I open all this stuff. I'm gonna miss it. There you go. She missed it. I really didn't realize this Yeah, just gonna make sure that any rain up there, not anything else. And then I'm in here, I'm gonna slide up some door stuff in here. I believe I did this one. Here's some spinning. Again, I went
You want to talk about a place for Christmas Duck?
This is where Christmas Duck goes.
Oh, it's Christmas Duck's little house.
It's his little house. That's where he goes. He goes into it.
There was something that I always assumed would happen. I know that some people did do it because we got tweets, like on the day of release or whatever, of people referring to this.
Right.
But kind of based on the gnome in Half-Life 2 Episode 2 or whatever, and just a general, I think, instinct to take the first kind of personified thing that you encounter and
drag it around the house with you.
Yeah, like try to take it to the end of the, take it all the way there with you or whatever. I knew that some people were going to take Christmas Duck all the way from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, and that we needed to pay that off somehow. I used the putback system that in almost all cases is just used to, okay, you pick up a Kleenex box and now you can put it back where you got it. But in reality, I can put one of those putback triggers anywhere in the game that I want. So there's one putback trigger for Christmas Duck where you initially pick him up, and then I put another putback trigger for Christmas Duck here. But yeah, if you bring Christmas Duck up here, you get Katie's interaction prompt that says, "There you go, Christmas Duck," and you put him back in his little nest, and he gets to go back to his home at the end of the game.
Good old Christmas Duck.
I'm gonna choose it. Achievement or a trophy, I guess, if it's a mentions on PlayStation, you get a trophy. Of course, back then they probably didn't intend to play trophies. This isn't the end. This isn't the end.
I think this is one where I love the way the music makes it so uplifting. Because it starts out in this very, sad point where it's sort of just like, you kind of don't know what, I don't know, to me it was very emotionally ambiguous in a sense. I mean, she's saying like, oh my God, I can't believe it, like something's happened, something's gone wrong. And as she kind of unravels the story about how she missed the first 2 calls, which then take you right back to one of the first things you probably do when you get in the house was find the voice recorder. So I love how it loops it around, and then it starts building this positive feeling of like how this isn't the end. And we are going to see each other again. And there's this wonderful elation that she sort of dawns on in a funny way. And that, yeah, it's just, it's so hopeful, and it's really nice to connect to that and just try and express a little bit of levity after so much weight has built up over the course of her life in this little window.
I would say very cheesy, hopeful. I can't think of it. Well, I can't say it. Very cheesy, hopeful. Ooh, cheesy expression. Good job for the public. Okay. Well, I thought it'd be done a lot more sooner, but at one point it was like 56 minutes playing this game, and I'm like 76 minutes. Looks like it'd be pretty close to 80 minutes. So yeah. So you can see the pictures of the book, right?
It's one of those things where we had always wanted to. Well, we had wanted to pay off Sam's darkroom by letting you go in it and see photos that she had taken, and B, this this started from a point of me just being like, oh, we'll end the game the same way we ended Minerva's Den. It'll be fine. But between those two things, we initially figured we were signing up for photos that would have taken a lot of time and effort to make, of like a photo strip of the two of them in a photo booth, which would mean like let's do 4 pairs of photo painted photos of these characters, and just like pictures of them in the mirror together, and all of this very high cost facial rendering basically for Carla to do, because we had we had this style that was like, okay, you do photo collage and then you paint it over to make it look consistent, and it's a lot of work, and it's hard to get the pieces and the lighting and the poses and everything looking right.
I'm just not that much of a pro in order to be able to do that fast, and so it would have been months.
Yeah, so we have the one very close-up photo of Lonnie's eye, and then we just brainstormed what are evocative images of the two of them and their life that we could create without having to show their faces a bunch. And I think that, like so many things, taking a step back and only seeing the implication of these characters is probably a lot more powerful than if we had just made a bunch of pictures of them looking at the camera.
Being less literal is definitely more meaningful in this particular case. To the extent that I remember when I took these holding hands photos with Rachel. I don't know. I took 20, a dozen, something like that, different versions of them, and then I was going through them afterward to try and find the one that I wanted to use to Photoshop in the letters on the heart and everything. And I found myself thinking, oh, these are all so sweet. And like, I had just taken them 10 minutes ago with my roommate, and it was just like, somehow this here is more evocative and meaningful than a happy face, I guess. But anyway, I was fooled by my own shtick, which is extremely silly.
I'm sorry they don't talk about the one with the what looks like army clothes or something. Like where do they get the weird creators picture of like army clothes, like someone in the army clothes or something like that. Okay, so let's see this one. Imagine this one more. I only have the cup because they don't like the cups. I'm like, if you guys have to this cup, there we go. That's exactly where it needs to be. Anything else here? Okay, right there. Nope. Okay, the end.
So this is the last room in the game, or at least the last room chronologically in the story.
You made it.
You did it! This is where you find Sam's journal that you have been hearing diary entries from. And it's revealed, or I guess implied retroactively, that, the game has been taking place in a flashback, basically, and Katie read Sam's diary that was addressed to her and is now thinking back to what she saw in the house. So thanks for playing through with commentary mode and listening to us and Yonaman and Kate and Sarah Grayson and Chris Remo and Corin Tucker from Heavens to Betsy and Slater Kinney, who, again, thank you to her for taking her time to record some of her recollections and thoughts for this. But yeah, just thanks for playing, and we hope that you got something good out of all of our jibber jabber.
It's okay if you didn't.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Goodbye. We love you.
Yeah, I guess.
Son of a bitch. Okay, yes, that's it. That's all whatever amount there was. I don't think I don't think they keep them here, so I'm not sure exactly how many that was, but there was a lot of them. So this would be I guess the last one of doing gone home. I guess I can save quick here. I'm not gonna bother clicking on that other piece of paper because I don't want another copyright notification on my Twitch thing about that song. So let's not do that. So let's just go to the or save and go to the main menu and stuff. So yeah, I got the ball. I don't know where the fuck it was. I know I can really search it up really quick. I just try to do it on commentary mode and just again, it's nothing too crazy. The for what I remember, it's just a TV that is just static or something in Sam's room. Turns on and a bunch of cats are pictures of cats. That's all I remember. I think that the secret Easter egg or something happens. I don't think it's an achievement. Might be an achievement. I don't really remember. I guess I can just search it up pretty quick. Because I'm not, I'm not doing anything. I guess I can do it. So, what's the other tab? Can't. Since it's 80, I guess I can mess around and see where it's at. Secret ball. Not ball. Ball. God damn it. I guess spell balls. It's fine. Secret. This is my tablet thing to oh, it's a purple ball. Yes, it is. I thought it was blue. Let's see. Into the hoop. The light swim temperature. Is there no, so let me just see where's the ball at. Closed up bed door to the basketball room. It's not telling me. It's just reading like the description. The good thing about what the hell is this? So someone asked some site, is there a second indent? Or is there, sorry, there are multiple indents. It says, if I can open it again, goddamn, come on. Okay, there's that indent as players choose results in a second indent as well. There is a third indent too, but you need guns. That's very weird. This was posted back in 2015, so who knows if that's actually true? Because I feel like they would have talked about more in there. Look around some more. You might find a second indent or possibly a third indent. So that's weird. So I don't think that's true. So I guess I will say fuck it and just actually click on this first YouTube video since it's a like less than 2-minute video. So let's see where it's at. I should probably turn down my volume because it might be a bit loud. Oh no, it's pretty loud. I know this must be very silent to do this. I just feel kind of like I could have like find it maybe on my own maybe, but I really did try like I looked everywhere in that house when I was going through the main game again, and I couldn't find it at all. So well, or they hit it in that one location that I didn't look, or maybe you gotta do a certain thing in a order to make it spawn or something maybe. So it's in a garage. Yeah, there you go. And apparently it was in the fucking garage. I even looked up, but I didn't look in the right place to see a little like thing glowing or something. Son of a bitch. I could almost found it if I just looked just a few more. Because I was looking in the middle of the garage on the like ceiling, but not like on the side. And that's all I had to fucking do, motherfucker. I was so close to it. Well, I guess I can't actually do it. I thought it'd be somewhere a lot more harder or something. Okay, so let's go back to my YouTube I was listening to. And I could refresh it, but it's broken. Okay, so let's go to the closet. We had a closet in the basement. The garage. What's that? Whoa. Maybe I should. Maybe I don't know. I guess that's what I could do after doing this. As the cat thing's happen, I can just do another search and see if there's actually a second or third. I'm only done there. I can't imagine like someone modded in a second ending. But I can check as I do the go back up and show off the picture and stuff. I might be going the right way. Did we go the right fucking way? Oh my god. Wait, no, well, okay, I kinda went the wrong way, but I was kinda the right way, but I went too far into going here. I was too busy, talking to myself, so... Oh, there it is, look at that. So they do talk about it. Okay, so I thought he was a pipe, because he was like, hitting up, it looks like a pipe, but actually it was the thing spinning, so actually I did miss one. So what he did, he used this milk bottle. But it went right through me, so I'm invisible. I'm invisible, how the hell do I get stuck on things? Let's try again. Well, I guess I can...
Oh, you found an Easter egg!
Who found it?
You found it! This is the best! You looked up! No one in a first-person game looks up!
Because there's no rewards to looking up.
Because it's hard to look up.
Also, you weren't allowed to look up in, like,
Wolfenstein? And Doom, I guess. It shot higher if there was an enemy higher.
Oh, yeah.
If you go get something recyclable from the recycle bin, I made it so that when you throw it way further than a normal thing, and you can knock the basketball out of the rafters and then carry it to Sam's room, and then when you make a basket, either by just throwing it through or by dunking,
you get a present.
You get a present, which is pictures of our cats showing up on the television.
And cats that we know.
Cats and friends of cats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
And We also we did a final wrap up, like a pickup voice recording session with Sarah Grayson, and we just went in there to re-record a couple of lines because we wanted to go a different direction with them after we had put them in the game and listened to them and everything, and we had some extra time, and it was like, what are we gonna do with this extra time? And we didn't know, and then we were like, we did want to make an Easter egg. What if you just reread one of the audio diaries, but instead of words, you said meow? And she was like, okay.
If you say so.
So we went back in.
Game
and
as
she was
hell.
a champ.
Yeah.
And did it perfectly. And
did not break face.
No, and Josh, our audio engineer, I think, just had no idea what the hell was going on.
He was kind of buff. It was good shit.
And yeah, at the end of the audio diary, when you make the basket in Sam's room, you can hear from outside the booth us starting to laugh before the audio cuts off.
It's a beauty.
Yeah, no, Easter eggs are fun, and again, congratulations for looking up.
Is thankfully there's a thing called YouTube. YouTube that I couldn't figure it out on my own because I forgot what it was and I was just fucking up there. God damn it. So that's why I didn't talk about the bomb, because it was, you had to find it, you had to look up and actually find it. And again, I barely looked up in the game too. I did again a few times, but never in the right place. I was looking up in the middle of the place. I was like, I can't believe I didn't see the people up there. And then again, I'm kind of disappointed. I had to look it up. I really didn't want to. I was about to just give up on it. No, I've tried on my own. Instead of them, even that, but I'd be kind of disappointed if I did it. Try to, show it off and stuff. I'm not sure this TV is beyond when I do it, but let's just turn it on. Oh, there it is. Oh, close.
Meow, meow.
Oh. Oh,
Meow,
maybe do it.
meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
I heard his laughing right there. I thought it'd be a lot more, you can kind of hear it more, but it's not. I thought it'd be like a little better than laughing at them, but that's pretty good. Did light shut off? Oh, what's that? Oh, look at that. I don't think I noticed that last time. It was kind of cool. So the light shuts off. Just here. Okay, okay. What's a ball with? Oh, it's all over here. So if I do it again, would it play again? No? Maybe not. Well, let me turn on the light again to see. I might have missed it, I don't know. I kinda wish it did play again, because that was pretty cool. I just want to hear the guy laughing again, because that's the best part. Oh, no, I think that's what I did last time. I thought I missed it, but... I think that was it went in, but it looks like you can only do it once. It's kind of sick. There is another TV, so I wonder... I don't know. I don't know. Oh, where's it at again? Oh, there it is. Again, there's another thing I'm just confused that they were talking about the stolen clothes. I thought they did that at some point, but again they didn't. So I am confused about that. And stuff, but pretty good Easter egg. Will that count? It seems like if you just Like it automatically just goes in, so yeah, I would imagine it would count, but I guess you only do it once. But I do want to see, since there was other TVs, if other TVs does anything else. No, but again, this looks really weird. Why do this? I don't know if that makes something like I sink close to it, but I guess not. Okay. I had to try. But the weird part about that thing was I read something about a ghost, a cat ghost would come out or it would appear as a ghost or something. So that was kind of weird. I didn't understand that part when I read it. There's something about a ghost or something that would appear. So that was kind of weird. Okay, there's no TV in the other house, so let's see when it happens. If that TV does anything different, probably not, because you know I probably would have missed it already if it did do something, but I haven't know what it does. But let's just go check really quick. Since I'm right here and I'm a couple of minutes away from being 100 minutes. TV is off, so can I turn it off myself?
Following counties: Austin County, Boone County, Dawn County,
Is that a just
County,
want to make sure.
and Wistaria County.
Yeah.
Residents are
Or
strongly
is it
urged
like a
to stay
garbage
indoors and
bin in
secure
here?
all
Maybe like
windows
shoot,
and
like
doors.
throw the
Flood conditions
ball in
are
the bin?
expected at lower elevations.
Huh? We just had to make sure. You know, just really quickly try to do. Oh, I wonder if I put the ball in the garbage, or not the garbage, in the pizza box, and then close the pizza box. Oh, look at that! It's like an invisible thing or something.
This is a severe
Oh.
weather warning. The
I don't think let
Northwest
me do
Weather
it.
Service reports high winds
clicked
and
on it, nothing
torrential rain
happened.
conditions affecting the
Try it
following
again.
counties: Austin County,
No,
Boone
oh,
County,
nobody wrong.
Dawn
Yeah.
County, Takelma County, and Wistaria County. Residents are strongly urged to stay indoors and secure all windows and
Oh,
doors.
that's weird. So
Flood
it doesn't
conditions
close
are
all the way.
expected at lower
It-
elevations.
That's really weird. So it won't close. Oh no. Oh, interesting. That's really weird.
This is a severe weather warning. The Northwest Weather Service reports high winds and torrential rain conditions affecting the following counties: Austin County, Boone County, Dawn County, Takelma County, and Wistaria County. Residents are strongly urged to stay indoors and secure all windows and doors. Flood conditions
They didn't-
are expected at lower
They didn't talk
elevations.
about this. I'm confused why they didn't talk about this. But I just when something would have made sense. Like, oh, you know, Disney reports. But they didn't talk about this. It's really weird. Maybe if I move a pillow or something, maybe something might be there. No, nothing.
This is a severe weather
Yeah.
warning.
I'm
The
surprised. I
Northwest
thought
Weather
for sure it'd be
Service
some
reports
kind of
high
like,
winds and torrential rain conditions affecting
Yeah.
the following
okay,
counties:
check
Austin
me out.
County,
Something
Boone
mentioned. Oh,
County,
he doesn't
Dawn
remember it.
County, Takelma County, and Wistaria County.
No, that's not
Residents
talking
are
about it. That's
strongly
really weird.
urged to stay indoors
This is
and
really
secure
weird.
all windows and doors. Flood conditions are expected at lower
Oh well,
elevations.
that's 101 minutes. This is the end of the going home. I was hoping if I shoot the basket again, they were able to do it again, just to come back every once in a while, just to listen to it, since it's kind of funny and stuff.
This is a severe weather
But I
warning.
hope you guys
The
enjoy
Northwest
this.
Weather Service reports
oh,
high winds
oh,
and
no,
torrential
no.
rain conditions affecting the
You
following
guys enjoy
counties:
this video.
Austin County, Boone County, Dawn County, Takelma County, and Wistaria County. Residents
I
are
was hoping I
strongly
could put
urged
some
to stay
popcorn,
indoors
maybe
and
play
secure
something.
all windows and doors. Flood conditions are
doesn't.
expected at lower elevations.
Put them in a different order and see what happens. No, that doesn't look, that's a thing either. I'm trying to think of any random thing I can do really quick. But, oh yeah, I forgot to look up the endings. Right.
This is a severe weather warning. The Northwest Weather...
Really quick. I should have, I said it, well, I guess I should have saved before I did it, because then I could have done it every time then. Like, save before I did the cat thing, and then every time I want to, like, just really quickly just do it and stuff, but... Okay, gone, home, a second, hold on, second, and then, there we go, oh, god damn it, gone, home, second, and then, oh, come on. This voice thing sucks. Gone, home, second, ending. Okay, let's search that, see what happens. I highly doubt there is a second ending. I can't believe there's actually a one. It's gotta be like a fake thing, but we can pretty quick, why not? It's only like 12:10 in the morning. No, I'm not seeing anything about. There's a gone home scary ending. What scary ending are they talking about? So there's some kind of weird ending of Slenderman? Ghost? I can't imagine there is actually a second ending. I don't know what this is. I'm guessing it's some kind of like mod someone did, and like maybe they modded in a second ending to the game for some reason. People like doing that, I guess. So. Let me just click on it and see what happens. This is not a YouTube link. It's like some other site. Okay, so let's, I just finished Gone Home in one go. I became so boring, what, in it, that I had to say something to characters. However, I thought I may have finished it a bit too soon, as I missed about 5 journals entries, and by the end I felt I may have missed something, and something killed herself. She ran away? If so, she left her girlfriend then a giant like mystery bar or blank bar. So weird. Maybe talking about the uncle, maybe? I think they're talking about the uncle. Or your grandfather, I guess. I would imagine this would be something on YouTube. Like someone actually has a video of the second ending, as there actually is a second ending. But I highly doubt that. God damn it. Oh, there's Gone Home second ending. Then I'm gonna copy this and go to YouTube and type this in and see, paste it into the thing to see if there's anything popped up. But I think they're just talking about the uncle or something. That's a second ending by opening up the safe and stuff, probably. I like this. Why was the ending so bad? Spoilers. Gone Home. It's bad because they did the cheesiest fucking bullshit. But if they didn't do that, what else are they gonna do? Say she did go into military training, and then Katie or Katie Sam went after her, maybe, or something. Who knows? Okay, I'm gonna let me paste this on to YouTube and see what's the first couple of videos that pop up. Imagine it's not gonna be really interesting. But that's what I'd make sure, because I want this to be my last video. I don't want to continue this next time. After this, at some point in a day or two, I will go and start playing. Oh crap! What's that name of that game I downloaded? Hold on, let me go see what the name of the game is, because I can't remember what it is. Okay, sorry, but it's the other game I downloaded was Child of Light. That would be the next indie game I would play for a week or so. I imagine it's much longer than Gone Home. And I don't think it has commentary. It is a much bigger game because you gotta level up and stuff. Okay, there's a few secrets, but I'm guessing I don't really want to do that. The secret ending. You can only get this ending if you smash all something both in game and IRL. Well, stupid. I'm tempted not even to click on it because it's probably stupid, but we gotta do it, so do it. Let's see what it is. Using IRL is so fucking stupid. But let's click on it. Let's give this guy a view and see what it is. Oh, it's just is it music? The hell is this? Like he's playing real music or something. And like he's picking up all these random things. Okay, and then they open up the locker room, and then he's looking at the Lonnie picture. Okay, that was weird. Nothing really happened. I should have known. Yeah, I should have scrolled down. It said likes were 82 likes and dislikes are 352 now. Thank you for the shit show. Okay, I should have known. But, you know, I had to make sure, because I don't want to go back to this later on and say, oh my god, there's actually a second ending, but I highly doubt there is. Well, highly doubt it means 100%. How I doubt it. Highly doubt it. Whatever, now I can't even say that. Anyways, that could have been pretty good. Actually, really shit. Not the video, but the thinking there's actually a second ending, or perhaps even a third ending, so. First thing that pops up, so I put Gone Home second ending, and right when I'm about to erase it, the number one sort of thing that pops up is Gone Home, all jump scares. I mean, jump scares. I can only think of like maybe one jump scare when you pick up little thing and the light bulb breaks. I think that's the only jump scare I can think of, so that's really weird. And then the rest is Gone Home Scary, Gone Home Ending Reaction, Gone Home Parents, Gone Home Secret Achievements, Gone Home Safe, Gone Home Secret Passage, and then Gone Home Sam's Locker Code, Gone Home Explain, and Gone Home Basement. So nothing about anything about a second ending or a different ending or alternate ending, anything like that. So I should have known, but again, it's always good to check just to make sure. Because the one game I didn't think there was a different ending to it, but there was oh god, what was that one game called? I played it on Game Pass. Fuck. What was it called? It was called Metroid Exodus, I think. New one's called Metroid, or not Metroid, Metroid was the train version of Underground Train, what do you call that? The one with RTS, I think his name is, and stuff. And then one if you do everything, you can save all the people and stuff and do all the bonuses, you get like a second different ending, so that's why I just want to make sure and stuff for this game, because it is a small game. It's gonna be pretty easy for them to hide some kind of ending or hide more secrets around the house, knowing it and stuff. Okay guys, so that's 116 minutes. That's gonna be hour and 46 minutes. Yeah, I think I was saying that right. So I mean, a pretty good long video for the end of it. Again, next indie game I'm playing is Child of the Light. I might start that off tomorrow, I'm not really sure. And then I'll try to play Halo Reach or Halo 4. Again, depends if there's a firefight. They Daily Challenge on Halo Reach. If not, I will go play Halo, a little bit of Halo 4. And then for a little while, I would keep playing Shy of Light until I beat that one again and stuff. Again, I don't think there's commentary mode. I think there's very kind of art gallery to look at and stuff. So I guess that's why this one doesn't have an art gallery, because they did commentary instead. Pretty good game, I don't know if I think I already when I first beat it, but I don't remember if I did or not. I don't know. I say a high 9 maybe, and then maybe a 10 if the whole her thinking she's never gonna come back because of the training and stuff. I maybe would have given it a 10 if she wasn't so worried about her training for about 6 weeks or 6 months or something like that. I still think if that wasn't a thing, I probably would give it a little bit high, like close to a 10 and stuff. So yeah, pretty good game. Again, I did get it for free because I was on Xbox Live. I believe I got it from Xbox Live, so it was free. If I would have to pay for it, and I saw how short it was, because I think they were selling it for like $20 for a while, I think it was. So if I would have bought it for $20, I probably would have gave it 5 out of 10 probably, because I'd be a bit disappointed by how short the game was and stuff, or even how short it was. If I could, if I knew to open that one door and immediately go to the attic and stuff. Very good. I don't know. I would need to look up and see what else they did. Because again, they mostly seems like they do mostly DLCs and stuff, like the Rap DLC, and they kind of work on other Bioshock games and stuff. So I don't think this might have been like their first independent game they did on their own. So I should really check, today, rest of today before the router shuts off, or later after the router turns back on. I might check to see if they made anything after this or before this. I would imagine they made in the game maybe, and to see if they actually, the people that made Bioshock, or whether it just used to be just people that made DLC and stuff, DLCs to games. So yeah, it's really rarely I bother seeing what other, what game people made. I'm mostly used to when they do it with anime. Like if I watch anime, I'm like, oh, this anime is pretty good. Sometimes I start to see who made it to see if they made it. Okay, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, hated it, or let me know what you hate about it. Thank you for watching on Twitch. It means a lot that someone actually does watch it. I think it seems strange, but I guess thanks. Catch you guys later. Catch you guys next time. This will be the end of. I believe this is bonus episode 3. I don't think it's 4. I think it's bonus 3. I'm not gonna bother doing the speed run of going to the door, open it up, get the key and go to the basement. There's no point in doing that. Pretty much played the game twice back to back. There's no point in doing it a third time. And catch you guys later. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with I probably delete it, I guess, after this. Again, it is a couple gigs big, and since I don't want all that again, just for the cat video, I can just rewatch it on my YouTube channel or make a clip about it. If I know it, I don't know how to do it, but maybe Twitch might have some kind of a system where I can make clips, I think, on the website, maybe, and then I can clip the cat video and then download that separate and then upload it separate to YouTube or something like that. Maybe if I figure out how to do that. Most likely not, but I might give it a try. And again, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do after Child of a Light. Maybe I try to find other indie games that I played years ago and play them and, to stream them and, share them and stuff like that. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do after I get bored of Halo Reach and Halo 4. Again, I might start playing Division because I got that, and since my Xbox Live is going to run out in about a month or so, I need to start playing that, so I might give Halo 4 a little bit of a break since I and stuff. That means I can still play. I think I can still play Sparking Ops solo without Xbox Live. I don't really know if I do or not. I do that, so if I can do that. Sometimes during the month or so, not having Xbox Live until my birthday and stuff. And then I can play other, games I own that I can just download and play and stuff during that month and stuff. There might not be enough. I don't know if I've been playing a whole lot on October since I have a bunch of videos I did months ago for Halloween special. So I don't know if I'd be bothering playing more games or streaming since I will have a bunch of stuff being posted anyways. I don't know, there's a point to play more. I could just take a break for a few weeks, I guess. At least, I don't know. I won't know until it gets closer to October what I'd be, uploading late December and stuff. For sure, Child of the Light or Kid. It might be Kid of the Light, or I think it's Child of the Light. And then Division, and then whatever, the 16th, what those games are going to be. It doesn't really say what the games are anymore. I think that's it. I really need to go to the bathroom and take a piss, so I really need to be done soon, so yeah, I'm trying to think of everything for I don't need to, worry about next time streaming to see what I forgot to say, so I'm trying to remember and everything now for I don't need to do it next time and stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one, these videos, these bonus videos and the main games and stuff. I'm not bonus videos be called bonus videos on YouTube. It might just be called, Gone Home episode, 5 and 6 or 4, 5 and 6, something like that. And then there's gonna be the one bonus video on my YouTube, or sorry, Facebook, that has all the, at least hopefully when the when they unmute it or they take off the muted song that they muted, so hopefully they do that, and then I can put that to my Facebook as their own Facebook bonus of all the music that's in the game, the ending song that played muted, and then the 6 tapes that I played and stuff, with a little bit of the beginning and the commentary and stuff too. Oh yeah, I did look up the TV Guide thing earlier. I talked about with channel E. Most people have it on 65 people. I only know it as E. I think there's a full. I think it might be Oxygen. E might be Oxygen. I don't really remember. But the E channel is doing a Harry Potter marathon, and I looked up and it's next week, next Tuesday, all day, and stuff like that. So I might watch some of the Harry Potter. I don't think I'll be watching all of them because that'd be like 24 hours and not of sleeping and stuff. So that might be pretty hard if it is all day. So hopefully it's not all day, maybe just a couple of videos, or a couple, 2 movies, and then the next day they show 2 more, then day after that 2 more. Just easier to watch all of them instead of watching once for like more than 12 hours probably, since a lot of them are pretty long. You can't imagine the ones with ads or commercials, so that's gonna be even more longer than originally 2.5 hours or whatever it's gonna be. And then there's as you mentioned now, I don't really remember. I don't know if it's 4 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, or today I should say. Kardashians is going to be on, continuing doing season 10. I probably watch it just because why not? They do a lot of season 10s, but a lot of like it's not always season 10 because some of it doesn't look familiar and stuff as season 10. So I might watch it if it's not the same I seen a few weeks ago. So is that if that's at 4 p.m. try to post some things to YouTube, upload things to YouTube, or if it's in the morning and they go for a bunch of hours until when the router does turn on, I'll try to post videos to my YouTube as I'm watching Kardashians. And then the Sunday coming up is when they doing another marathon of Walking Dead. But they're not showing where they left off. They're doing like season 10 or something. It's also season 10. I'm not really sure what it is, but I was kind of hoping it would be starting off where they left off last on season 1 and stuff. I think that's random stuff I gotta say. Again, none of this is important really, because by the time I upload this to YouTube, all that stuff was past a week ago probably, so it doesn't really matter, but I just like talking about it and stuff. Okay. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening and stuff like that too. Thanks for listening to my rambling. I think I'm pretty sure now. I'm pretty sure I'm not saying that right. Rambling and stuff. I mean, playing the game and me talking to myself for probably 15 minutes. Probably 15 minutes. I probably. Thanks for all that good stuff. Catch you guys later. Catch you next time. Hope you guys enjoy this Gone Home playthrough. I only did it because show it off to my channel and to enjoy it. Since again, it's been 2 to 3 years since I last played, so I thought why not play it again. And hopefully I enjoy Child of Light as much as I did this game, and hopefully other indie games I will look up to see what else I might want to download and try to replay and stuff like that too. So catch you guys later, catch you guys next time. And again, for the last third or fourth time I said it, thanks for watching, and catch you guys next time. No, clicked on the wrong thing. I clicked on Gone Home. I meant to click on Twitch. The Twitch app, not the Gone Home. God damn it.